started with Bruce Bochy. We got Kendall and Josh on the sides, so just raise your hand when you're ready. The question. We'll start on the left with Matt.
Yeah, hello. So what are the limitations, if any, on Max Scherzer tomorrow?
Well, I said this a couple days ago. Now, I'll stick with this right now. He threw 69 pitches facing hitters a week ago or so, about 6 days ago. So that's the starting point. Obviously, we'll watch the innings, how stressful they are, how he feels, looking at the command stuff, velo, things like that. But he's been worked pretty good, so he can get us at least in that area, if not more.
It's right in the middle, Jeff.
Does your Game 4 starter depend on how much Scherzer works tomorrow?
I don't know if it depends on how much he works, but we are going to hold off before we list our starters because I don't know how the game's going to go, to be honest. It could be extra innings, too. All those guys are ready to go down there. Now, we have some options with starters being down there and lone guys, and so we can use different type, whether lefties, righties, Gray, Bradford, guys like that. If we don't use them, they'll be available the next day.
Go to Evan in the second row.
Yeah, you mentioned yesterday that Scherzer had lobbied pretty well over the last week or so to get activated, and I think everybody knows Max is a fairly intense human being. So I'm just curious, what the experience of Max Scherzer lobbying to get on the roster is like.
Well, as far as lobbying, I guess, that's what it is when the guy is hungry to get out there and pitch. He's a competitor. All of you know him. That's who he is. He wants to be part of this. He wants to help this team in any way he can. He mentioned in the bullpen, could be starting, and this started coming around a lot better than I think he even thought on how fast, the arm really bounced back. And Baltimore, he threw a couple innings there. Second inning was really good, and I think he was so encouraged to the point where he says, hey, I really think I'm going to be ready. And actually, we even thought about the previous series, about activating him. Our concern was, well, if something happens, then he would miss this series. So we want to be a little cautious there. But it's just who Max is.
Let's go next for Boch. Go in the front here, Sean.
We've talked a lot about Leody and what he's done the last month and a half, but specifically, he's been working walks at a rate in the playoffs that he wasn't in the regular season. What have you seen from him in terms of the quality of his at-bats to get on base that way?
I say more than anything, with his, how the season started to where he's at now, he really has done a nice job of quieting things down. The balance up there, so that's keeping him from expanding the zone. He's making the pitcher throw strikes on both sides, and that's the development of a young player. That's what you want to see as they play more. Last year, I know that was an issue with him at times. I saw it in spring training. I saw it in early go. He started on the IL, so he missed some time there, and we brought him up a bit early maybe, and he was working his way into getting the timing, but you could see it just getting better and better. And with that, your confidence grows, and the more that grows, then the more comfortable you are at laying off pitches and just making the pitcher throw strikes.
Go to Evan in the front.
I don't know if there's any explanation for this, but your starters have allowed 4 walks in 40 innings in the postseason. The walk rate is down dramatically from where it was during the regular season. Is there anything you can point to for why your guys have had so much better command of the strike zone?
Well, I wish I could give you a really good reason, except that, that's what's preached here. I can tell you, Mike, I think every team does that. Just pound the strike zone, throw strikes. That's that's the way it should work, and so these guys are doing it, and not just strikes, but they need to be quality strikes, and so I think you have to look at the talent that's out there, Montgomery and Evaldi. I mean, all of them. I don't want to leave somebody out, but that's last thing you want to do is work a lot of deep counts and put guys on base, and so that's kind of been the philosophy here, I think, along with pitching in general.